What's going on, guys? So I'm here with a new video today, and today, you guys, I got what you guys have been asking for a long time coming, but we are actually here to profile my finally updated MEKK-KNIGHT INVOKED deck profile for this new format. I know it's been a really long time since I featured this deck. It's been a really long time since I normal summoned Alistair. You guys seem to really enjoy the Dogmatic Invoke list, so I decided to try my best to put together a formidable list for MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked. I know a lot of you enjoy this deck. You enjoy the combination of Invoked along with the Mech Knights, and this is again my first draft of the list, similar to Dogmatic Invoked and the pure Mech Knight list that I played at YCS Niagara. Now, again, disclaimer: I don't think these decks are the best decks of the format. I don't think Alistair is as powerful as it used to be, but it's definitely a deck that if you enjoy playing a combination of these two engines, you'll definitely enjoy it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy. Be sure to smash that like button if you guys are new here, subscribe, etc. Be sure to check out my links in the description below, especially my newest sponsor, Dragonshield. Shout out to Dragonshield. If you guys are wondering, you guys ask me this on every video, and going forward in deck profiles, I'm going to do this for every video. If you guys are wondering what sleeves I am using, of course I am using Dragonshield, and I'm going to show you the two that I am using. On the main deck, I am using their Japanese size, the Snow, the dual matte sleeves. The dual matte sleeves, again, are the ones that have the black on the inside and the color on the outside. And for the extra deck, I'm using the Japanese side, the Orchid, the dual sleeves as well, which are, again, black on the inside, and they give you like a nice orchid on the outside. So in case you guys were wondering, just click the link down below for my affiliate link, and it'll definitely support the channel, and you guys can get some awesome sleeves just like these. But anyways, I don't want to waste any more time. I'm going to show you guys what I came up with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, remember, this is the first draft of the deck. It definitely is going to go through a lot of revision, especially post dabble, and once we are playing against the Ishizu cards and stuff like that, we're going to have to adapt. But for now, you want to get the wheels rolling with the deck, this is what I got for you guys. So, of course, triple copies of Alistair the Invoker, the best normal summon slim, you guys already know. Favorite normal summon in the game, next to Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit's kind of nice too. A triple Meltdown, the 2 Invocation, and the Terraforming to go with it. None of that ever changes. There will not be a third Invocation because we're not playing Desires, we're playing Prosperity in this deck. So that's just standard. Luckily, Prosperity has been reprinted, so hopefully you guys can get it. If you guys are shopping for cards, use my TCG player link in the description below. You guys already know, support the channel. That's it for the Invoked engine, very standard for the Mech Knight. So I decided to go with triple purple, double blue, the 1 indigo, and the 1 copy of yellow. So this is very familiar, very reminiscent of the last version of MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked that I did feature here on the channel, that I did play at YCS Vegas in the 3v3 with my brother Johnny and James. That was like, you guys, that's so crazy to say. That was like almost 3 years ago. Like, I don't even want to think about it. The last 3v3 YCS in Vegas was actually that long ago, but this was the lineup we played. And the thing is, I decided to still keep this ratio. Purple is the best one, blue is great, but I didn't want to have 3. I just felt that purple is just better, you know, being a wind-up rabbit, a body that comes back. Indigo is good for Shifty Boy and for just, you know, doing what it does. Also being a level 8 is very relevant. And then I chose yellow over any of the other colors because this can actually clear a floodgate. If it were to come up, this can clear a floodgate, so I wanted to have it in there. It's also got 2800 defense, so it is pretty strong and pretty formidable when, you know, using this deck and just playing the column game. You guys can try out the other Mech Knights if you want, but in testing, yellow was the best one. If you're not a fan of yellow, you can try out red if you want to actually pop monsters, but I wanted to pop floodgates, so that's why I chose to play yellow. Instead of playing any other Mech Knights, I played the honorary Mech Knight. I played Pankratops. This obviously is a going second deck, 100%. In every shape or form, this is a going second deck. This is literally an honorary Mech Knight. This card is crazy. It's at 1 for a reason. One of the best cards in the game, one of the best cards ever released, honestly, and this just feels like a Mech Knight. You just special summon it, it clears a problem. Broken against Sprite, like literally just clears the board. So this card is insane. When I was thinking about, should I play another Mech Knight or should I just play Pank, it was kind of like a no-brainer. I'm just going to play Pank. We're not pure Mech Knights. We're not normal summoning Gearsa. We're normal summoning Alistair. So you can literally Pank away a problem and then go Alistair, go Mech Knights and do your thing. So this was the honorary other Mech Knight in the deck, so I figured for sure we played, so we're going second deck. So that's it for all the Mech Knights, honorary Mech Knights. Now, the reason why this deck is so formidable is the hand traps. Similar to when we played Dogmatic Invoked, anything with hand traps versus board breakers, I feel like hand traps are quite important in this format, especially with the way tier elements play and other decks play, so that's why I'm choosing to play this lineup. So I'm playing quite a lot. I'm playing 3 copies of Nib, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of DD Crow, the homie DD Crow, 3 copies of Valor, and the 3 copies of Impermanence. That's a lot of hand traps. I know it's 15 hand traps. I just feel they're necessary. All of them have synergy with the deck. The light makes your MEKK-KNIGHT, the fire makes your Purgatrio, the dark makes your Kaliga, the extra light makes your mech above it comes up. Impermanence can't be talented. We also use Valor because it can help you link climb with Selene into access code. For that line, if you're trying to OTK your opponent, it definitely can come up. This deck can OTK very fast once it clears the board, so I want to give every possible option. We're not playing cards like Dark Ruler, nothing that stops our battle phase, so I want to hit them with hand traps. And honestly, if I can OTK my opponent, that's kind of the goal of the deck. So that's why I'm playing all of these. They're all very strong. Crow is just insane against 2 elements. Ash, while it's not that great, it's still good enough for this type of deck. It's still good enough for this format. It's good against rogue decks and stuff like that. So I still wanted to include it just because I always feel safer when I do include Ash with my hand traps. If you're not a fan of Ash though, you can definitely cut it from the deck. Disclaimer, this deck is, I believe, 44 cards. Hopefully my math is right. I think you guys said that my math wasn't right in the last deck profile, but I'd have to rewatch it. But yeah, just in case you guys were wondering. So you can definitely cut some cards if you want to play 40. So completely up to you. Now that's it for the hand traps. On to just the support spells. Of course, triple copies of Prosperity just helps you filter to what you need. Extra deck, you just kind of just eliminate the fusions you don't need, and it's quite simple to go through. You can also eliminate the super poly targets if you're not, you're not playing against a deck, you're not going to super poly. We got the lightning storms for going second. Again, we are going second deck, so storm is great, very good against the back row decks, and of course very strong against any front row decks as well. So it definitely can bait out a negate. I do like it though because there are a lot of trap decks popping up because of Red Reboot being banned, so it is quite important to still play this card. And then I am playing triple super poly. So while I wasn't a fan of super poly in pure MEKK-KNIGHTs, the beauty of MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked is that basically every fusion is a super poly target because it literally just needs Alistair and the element. So you literally can just super poly into this. You could super poly your own board to OTK your opponent when in battle phase. So super poly in testing with this particular deck has been very strong, whereas with pure MEKK-KNIGHTs it was trash. Like, let me emphasize that again, it was trash, especially at the YCS. But playing this type of deck, the way that it combos with each other, having the MEKK-KNIGHTs being light, Alistair being dark, a lot more things come up with this type of deck where they wouldn't come up in pure MEKK-KNIGHT. So super poly, very, very strong in this deck. And then I am playing Mind Control, and the other card in the deck that I actually do not have a copy of, but I'm going to put it right here. There is one Change of Heart in this list. Unfortunately, I do not have it, so a blank will represent the Change of Heart, but it's definitely just another really good going second card. You guys know this is a blind second deck, so we do play Mind Control, we do play Change of Heart. This gives us the ability to either bait and negate or take one of our opponent's monsters and just do our thing. MEKK-KNIGHTs have always thrived off of that. Invoked has always thrived off of that, and I just really love Mind Control and Change of Heart as cards. I just wanted to include them in the deck, so that's why they're there. If you're not a fan of them, you definitely don't have to play them, but I just really wanted to play them because I've just been waiting to play them both in a deck. This was definitely the deck I wanted to do it in because I remember playing MEKK-KNIGHT Invoked with 3 Mind Control and it was broken, so the closest thing to that is playing Change of Heart and Mind Control. And this way, I'm not playing talents because I have to rely on my opponent to do something when I'm going second, so I'd rather just use cards like this to bait and negates, and so far they've been really, really strong. And then the last card is the Duster. Just extra mine outs. Mine is everywhere. Floodgates are everywhere if the decks can play it. I just want to feel safe against those decks, so that's why I have it. And the versatility of Lightning Storm, like I said, to hit the front row as well, is very versatile. So that is the main deck, you guys. It's 44 cards, and I know it's not an ideal number. A lot of people may not like that number. Again, you can tinker with it to get it down to 40 if that's really what you want to do. But again, this is the first draft of the list. But now on to the extra deck before we wrap things up. So for the Invoke Fusions, of course, double MEKK-KNIGHT, 1 Purgatrio, 1 Raijin, 1 Kaliga, 1 Agates. Very standard. Exactly what I played in Dogmatic Invoked. Wouldn't change any of this. They're all good. They're all very strong. I even thought about playing Instant Fusion at one point because you can Instant Fusion out Raijin. You can even Instant Fusion out Kaliga. You can do a lot of crafty things with those, but I didn't test it enough before I presented this list. I felt like this was still fine to just play all of these. They all come up. This at least gives you an option against the barrier statue where you normally wouldn't have one. I remember going up against Bird Up in the past before Flunderies existed. Being able to make this was actually crazy. So still very, very strong. Kaliga's still insane too. MEKK-KNIGHT Kaliga is like crazy with this deck. You're not playing Winda in this deck, so you're just kind of relying more on your fusions and stuff like that. Since we are playing Super Poly, we are playing the 2 best targets, the Garuda and the Mud Dragon, just standard. I don't really need to explain that. They're just the best Super Poly targets, most generic. And then for the links to round out the deck, we do have the 1 copy of Artemis. So where I did make a mistake, I did correct it in the pinned comments of the Dogmatic Invoke list. We're not playing Maximus, we're not playing anything like that. You literally can just normal summon Alistair, turn into this, and there you go, you're good to go. Definitely did not have the extra deck room to play the Secure Garden on the Almirage. If you don't have Artemis, you can try to fit those in. I just had a hard time trying to fit everything in. I always start with those two and then realize this isn't Dogmatic Invoked. I'm not playing Maximus, so I can just get away with Artemis in this one. And the two cards I really want to include were the two Charmers. So I am playing Dark and I am playing Lina. I felt that these were very strong. Again, we are playing cards like Mind Control. We are playing cards like Change of Heart. You just play the light monsters in the MEKK-KNIGHTS. You have the Dark and Alistair and stuff like that. I just figured these cards are crazy. Just take opposing light and dark monsters, which are the most popular monsters in the game, and then you can literally link climb them into this. We do play Veiler, so I did want to play Selene because Selene will let you link climb into Access Code Talker to OTK your opponent. It definitely has come up. That's why I included Veiler. Obviously, that's the only spellcaster target. In addition to Alistair, people do forget with Alistair in grave, you can revive it with Selene, so that does give you the option to link into your Access Code Talker to guarantee like an OTK, and then you can still invocate, and then that's really OTK. So don't forget that. That does give you options that other decks might not give you if you're just playing Veiler. So it just gives you some really cool added utility, the fact that Alistair is a spellcaster. And last but not least, I'm finishing things out with the Ding and the Zeus. So you guys are probably wondering why. Well, one cool thing about this is that purple is an 8 as well as Indigo Eclipse. Now, it comes up more than you would think to actually make Dingirsu. We played this in our list before. Purple floating, just being a floating level 8, being able to search out Eclipse, and then being able to turn these into a Ding is crazy. Being able to attack and then making a Zeus is actually crazy as well. Definitely wanted to include this. If you're not a huge fan of it, you definitely can change it for something else, but I did really like the synergy that the level 8s gave to the deck, and just Zeus is just crazy, so why wouldn't you play it? But that is it for the list, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to smash that like button if you did. Again, be sure to check out Dragonshield in the description below. These were the sleeves I used. They're absolutely crazy. Hopefully you guys will use them too using my link, and it's definitely awesome to profile this deck once again. Again, it is the first draft of many, and I'll definitely be updating this as well as my other Alistair decks in the format as new cards come out, and we just try to combat the format with these crazy but super fun rogue decks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.